Collective, welcome to the live. I am streaming from TikTok, so you will hear me saying hello to some people. Don't mind me. I'll timestamp where the reading starts. All right, let's get the show on the road. Welcome back, Mabusa. Now, Tagoza Mdomdala. Okay. Tagoza Mabusana. All right, I'm just gonna allow everybody to come back into the room. I'm gonna give it at least 2 to 3 minutes, and then I'm gonna restart the channeled message here. One thing to definitely look forward to this evening, got a new deck. I've got a new deck of cards that promise to be something very special this evening. Yeah. Tawaza to Lola. Thank you so much. Yo Soil. Thank you so much. Tawaza to Miss Watermark. All right, Collective. Tawaza to Prudence. Tawaza to Sipesi. Okay. All right. Let's go, Vandavadal. Let's roll. Tagoza Lady TT. It's go Kumdumdala. Tagoza to Tabi. Mutlalepule, it will bring the truth, my darling. I'm going to ask, life is yin yang. Comes both the good and the bad. All right. Tagoza to Candy Floss. All right. Absolutely. So I'm just shuffling this new deck of cards. But I believe it's Spirit wants me to do this and multitask at the same time. So, Collective, let's talk. Weekend, what was happening? Let me just be frank. What was happening over the weekend? Because I could feel a very strong surge from the collective energy. Feeling like very emotional, firstly. Some of you are deeply saddened. Some of you may have cried. And it was all due to feeling the full impact now of this isolation period. And it seems like it's not coming to an end. Because lots of mixed emotions here, Caitlin. Yes, I felt that strongly over the weekend, and it's mixed with missing past people. We're gonna be honest, we listen, but we don't judge. There's something weird happening here over the weekend. I'm gonna tell you exactly what was happening. But I'll tell you what was going on with you as well, while I tell you what's also happening. Some of the collective described this to me as the worst experience. Tagoza to Hazel Eve. Lots of emotions everywhere. Some of you were saying, hey, Kokwez, ngiphelelwa ithemba. Ngiphelelwa ithemba, Gogo, and I'm going to say this in Venek Namaboom. Ngiphelelwa ithemba because ngizama ukuhlanganisa kuhlangane. This is why I'm hearing it. I'm trying to hold on to hope. And mhlambe le hope le ngibambile akuyona le futhi ngabe ngiyibambile. So there's a lot of doubt as well. There's skepticism. There's 1 foot in, 1 foot out into the journey for some of you. Some of you, you're fully submerged. And whether you're 1 foot in or 1 foot out, you're still experiencing these emotions nonetheless. Okay. No, this is why I'm here, Caitlin. Remember, I told you. I'm going to tell you how you're feeling, what you're going through, why it's happening, and what's actually happening. So hang in there. Not a time to give up. In fact, if anything, it's a time to get very excited. It's a beautiful time for you to get very excited to your collective. And as I say that, I'm paging through the 9 of Pentacles, or the Pentacle energy. And this is exactly where most of you are. You're about to taste your wealth. You're about to taste the life that you want. But so let's dispel the veil or whatever it is that's in front of you. So most of you gave me the energetic confidence that you may be missing past people. Not even maybe, you were missing your past people over the weekend because you've been saying to Spirit, hey, lo muntu omusha kade afike. Even today was tough. Njalo mntu omdala thokoza candy floss. Yeah. You guys were experiencing what we would call a soul ache, or something that feels like a soul ache. You were so emotional. You were like, thokoza abantu abadala uxolo malanga awubukhala mntu omdala hawu ngishilo ukuthi bebakhona bebakhala weekend. I could feel the energy. It was a very emotionally I could maybe even call it an antagonizing time for you during this period, but it really was there to allow you to explore the emotional depths. But in Lapana, what you guys were missing your exes here. Some of you wasn't even exes, or wasn't even limited to exes. It was your old friends. Oh, Miss Mbali. Khona kwenzakalayo umuntu omdala, khona vele kwenzakalayo. Dr. Mode, I'm at the best time of my 2025. Hawu umuntu omdala. Hawu flying the flag high. Sakhalelisela umuntu omdala. Portia Ati. New person, not make sure. That's why you're missing the X. No, but remember as well, there will be tests. So a new person may not just come out tushululu out of the blue, right? Your new person may need you to use your discernment here. All right. And on that point, Spirit wants me to add something on that point. Your new relationship has a high probability that it's going to start in a very unique way. And most of your paths, or you'll get to know each other first. Right? I don't see any of you jumping in. You may want to, but in its initial inceptual stages, you guys don't even know that you're each other's partner. That's how the energy is looking like at the present moment. Good evening to Yona. Thokoza mntu Oh, Dionas. Siyabonga mntu omdala ukuthi ube khona. Buhle bezulu. So ubuza ukuthi for how long? Ngisavula inkonzo. Usobuza ukuthi for how long? Well, the good news is it's not too far off now. It's not too far off now. But angithi yonke into just like I'm being shown the stock market, forex, and it just so happens that I had some interest in forex and I know what goes on with forex to some degree. But according to my busy retrace with forex, I don't know my forex people who are babies and forex fundis will correct me here, or like a Fibonacci chart. Impilo ngesinye isikhathi ayivele sihambe isukela ithi straight ufike emalini, or isukela ngene straight to your person wezinto zilunge straight. No, there must be a point, kube ngathi kuba ne-momentum, there must be possibly a plateau, and then it must retrace ibuyele phansi kancane icheck ukuthi izinto zihambe kahle, then bese iyakhuphuka futhi, angithi. But asikho lapho, but they just wanted me to make that analogy here. But what I was facing, or what I was sensing a lot from the collective, was that you guys were missing your ex-friends, your ex-lovers, estranged family members, but more so, and most of you are holding on to this old version of yourself. I guess guys, why are you holding on to this old version of yourself? And you may be asking, Gogo, what is that? How would I know I'm holding on to the old version of myself? Good question. And the fair answer is the one that feels like they're surviving, the one that feels like they need permission, the one that feels like they're not gifted, the one that feels like, someone still needs to tell me what I need to do. No. That's the old version of yourselves here, collective. No? That's the old part that needs permission, number one. Number two, the one that feels woody. Maybe the world is against you. Number three, that these past people, whatever they did, was a reflection of you. Not at all. Someone cheats on you, decides to cheat, collective, as what is most of the stories are here that I see. That is a decision that they take on their own. It's got nothing to do with you. Good evening to Nomtandazo. It's got nothing to do with you. It's going to shape you. I loved what Yoyo said on Friday, when we closed off our reading. That your past experiences, you're not your experiences, they're there just to shape you. Tagoza to love. Alright. But like I promised, I'm going to tell you what was actually going on over the weekend, and it was because of all of the planetary alignments, energetic shifts that were happening here in the cosmos. Alright. Makos. For most of you, collective, you're experiencing what we call collective grief. Energetic grief. And collective is correct because it's almost because you're closing off this old cycle of yours here, it's almost you taking all of your experiences while your soul was. Alright? And was compiling all of your experiences that you've had, all of the lessons that you've learned, all of the seasonal people that were in your life, all the people that were either there to teach you a lesson, there for a season, but nonetheless, those were the three things that you were going through. There were massive emotional echoes. Thank you so much for the cab. You were going through an emotional echo. Greetings, love. What is that, Coco? What is an emotional echo? You were forced to see a side of yourself and sit with your emotions, be true to yourself, understand who you are and what you want and what you don't want in your life anymore. But most importantly, what was definitely happening in the 5D was you guys were completing soul contracts. That's why you were feeling what you were feeling. So there was closure over the weekend of all these karmic contracts here, all these past people that you've been reading about. And it is official now. You felt an energetic shift. Ngingekho ulapho khona. And Togoza Kwena, Togoza Mdumdala, thank you so much for those caps. Wow, Mdumdala. Siyabonga. But that's what's exactly what was happening there in the 5D there. You were literally compiling, look at it as a portfolio of evidence. You compile your portfolio of evidence in a file like Yavala, and now you're looking at new contracts. Of course, when you do that, there's going to be these emotions that bubble under or come to the surface because now there's finality now at a spirit level or at a soul level here. Absolutely, Tabi Tabs. You know? And most of you, as you say that, Tabi Tabs, you may be feeling subtle differences, subtle changes, like what Tabi is saying here. She's able to say what's on her mind without hesitation now. There's simply some changes in ascension that is happening in your energetic confluence and within your being. 2 seconds. All right. Now, what's most important with all of this, or what's important to note, is that because everybody's on a different timeline, I cannot guarantee how long you're going to experience these emotions like waves coming in and out. Sometimes it's small waves, sometimes it's big waves, sometimes it's overwhelming waves, sometimes it makes you feel like kind of waves. But there are some spiritual techniques here that you can do whenever you're feeling engulfed by these emotions, because it's all good and well I tell what's going on, but what about how do I cope? Because what do I do with that now? Okay. First advice from Spirit was to recreate what's happening in the 5D, in the 3D. Sometimes, as people, we release things or work through situations very differently. Where one may want to see A, B, C, for instance, another may want to see 1, 2, 3. So the first thing that you can do, you can create what we call a grief shrine or a memory altar. Doesn't actually have to be even a shrine or an altar. You can do what maybe I did or what I do, right? You can take a list of the people that have been in your life, on a piece of paper. Then you can categorize them, right? Especially those that have been taken out of your life. These would be ex-lovers, friends, estranged family members, especially the old version of yourself, Togoza Len. And if there's ancestors in that, because some of you may feel ukuthi I no ukhona osadlayo because uzibonakalise ukuthi kama kakhanyisele, can also do that. But what's most important here is that how I develop my own paper grief shrine. Write their names, write down everything that you feel you need to express to that particular person, and almost write a final letter. And if you can, maybe talk to them. But if you can't, it's also okay. But let's get into Spirit's advice here. What is a grief shrine? A grief shrine is a place in an altar in English. It's like an altar, right? Where you can place letters, you can place photos, any symbolic objects, even maybe those people's names that you're missing at that particular moment in time. And most importantly is just to light a candle for them whenever that aching feeling comes to visit you. All right? And how do you transjugate now that energetic confidence so that it doesn't affect you on such a deep soul level that makes you even feel a bit, hey, Nzolal. You simply say, I hereby honor what we shared. I released what I must now release for my transformation. It's okay, Lebza. It's okay, my angel. Some of us have to do that. Okay? Don't feel bad. Alright? And even if you don't want to let go, acknowledge that love and grief are both sacred forms of remembrance here for your highest and greatest good. Number 2, the simplest thing that you can do, right, is write a thank you and release you note. So thank you for all the life experience. Thank you for the growth. Thank you for the spiritual awakening. Thank you for allowing me to choose myself. Thank you for showing me who you truly are. And thank me for being able to discern who you truly are. Then you are able to place umuntu where they're supposed to be. Kahle kahle. Able. For those who are not writers, you're most welcome to do some form of meditation. For those who are not people of meditation, you can then say, I go, I'm Bali, angenza ma-altar, I'm meditate. What do you have for me? It's okay. All right. You can wait for a full moon. Not a problem, Mabusan. I'll go through all these once again. You can wait for a full moon. Get 2 white candles. Sit outside. Speak to the moon. Switch on your white candles outside in a safe place, hopefully in a jardin lako, where you can see the moon. Speak to the moon. And almost speak to the universe through your candles as you invite your spirit guides. And you tell them, hey, bandabadala, now you're not in la manzendli. Sabate ngiti. Hey, lo muntu as my candle flickers. They actually agree with that even more. That's actually the fastest way. 2 candles outside looking at the moon. Switched on, invite your guides. Speak and speak what you want to see happening. Togoza candy floors. Hey, Mdumdala, it's so sad when it's family, hey? For some of you who don't want to do none of that, you can also do mirror work. Okay, you can look at a mirror, speak to yourself, be honest to yourself there. Or light your white candle. All right. And what's most important for you to say there as you switch on your candle and you look at this mirror, all right, is for you to say the following. I call back all parts of me that stayed with someone who has left. I am ready to become whole again. That's how you call your power back. Or you can use the other babies and that other sound clip that I used the other time. Togo Zalola. Thank you so much, everybody, for the likes and the shares and the follows and the gifts. You guys are absolutely amazing. All right. And for those who've been missing, maybe you missed your mother. Maybe she's passed on. Maybe you missed your father. Maybe they passed on, because I'm also seeing an energy here that could have also been misconstrued. With all of these emotions going about, not only were you missing these toxic people, some of you are also missing good people. So in the event where you felt like, hey, Kokoyas, Nkumbula ma or Nkumbula Mkulu, Ngikhumbula ugogo, ngikhumbula u-auntie, ngikhumbula ubani. It becomes important for you then to can do what we call an ancestral grief circle. All right. You can use just a glass of water. All right. And then you just speak their word, speak their name out loud and say, span, ngiyakukhumbula, and just speak from your heart. Let them know, with your white candle, of course. Speak from your heart. Tell them that you miss their laugh. I certainly miss my dad. I mean, I'm not going to go there, otherwise I'm going to be emotional. But, excuse my candor and my French. But yeah, you can speak from the heart. You know what I mean? You can tell them that you carry them with you every day. I mean, from time to time, I may speak to myself, and I sometimes feel that he is around me. Sometimes you speak like Matakahambang, and we laugh. And he tells me jokes sometimes, but Leoge, that's beyond his news. And how Dimple Face celebrate Amdomdala Winzinja. Oh, Dimple Face just joined. Boo, 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 boo. Our tribe is full. Our tribe is full. Yeah. And as empaths collective, we're moved by rhythm. We're moved by sound. We're moved by song. We're moved by music. So in times where, absolutely, Caitlin, in times where you're feeling difficulty in connecting with your guides, in times where you're feeling difficulty praying, in times where you're feeling just an emotional, spiritual storm all over your life and you're feeling like, everything you're touching is just disintegrating or turning into dust, it's a good time to just sing, collective. Just sing, sit down, play a song like this in the background. Listen to what your soul is trying to tell you. Find the words that you need to say to your guides to listen to you. And I'm also hearing, remember, because y'all made promises to your guides. Y'all have not delivered on your promises. Not all of you. But I see some outstanding. Makosi Ndombi Zulu. There's outstanding promises here made by the collective to your guides that you guys have not honored yet. And of course, it's not a race, but if there are any challenges you're experiencing, it is wise to go Msamo to your altar. Let them know you're experiencing these challenges, you'd like some assistance, because they're more than willing to help you with that. All right. Okay. Some of you, and I feel that you may feel this even now, some of you may have felt that maybe you're failing because you miss them. Maybe Gogo's teachings are not reaching where they should. Whatever it was for you. All of that, all of those emotions, that mixed bag of emotions was a sign that soul contracts have come to an end. You've learned all the lessons that you've had to learn, all right? And your heart is expanding, not shrinking. Meaning, do not get closed off here, collective, because the large majority of you are closed off to love. And you're afraid of love, yes. And you don't want to be vulnerable, and you don't want to be hurt. You don't want to be cheated on again. You don't want to play the investigator. You don't want to be the detective again. You just want some peace and quiet. And, the funny thing is, okay, not we're tired. The funny thing is, some of you have become very comfortable in isolation. While some of you have been complaining, some of you have now switched off emotions, Togoza to Moira, and switched on your workaholic self. I'm being shown the Eight of Wands in place of the Eight of Pentacles. You guys you're all talk. In fact, with this Eight of Wands, y'all are all talk at this moment. Hayi sekuphuma amafayili ke manje. Hey, siphole kamandi diyoyos, ndiyanibona diyoyos. Hayi niphole. Niphole apha kumedula. Aninxamanga ndawo. It's like a well-deserved moment of silence. It's like a well-deserved moment of peace. You're protecting your energy. You're waiting for your ships to come in. New opportunities are presenting themselves. You're feeling aligned. Hey, but you're protecting your energy, collective, hey? Yeah, work, studies, business, aliki klesha. Good evening to Queen Fire. Absolutely, isolation is peaceful. But I'm sure like this reading tonight is going to show there's someone new coming in your energetic continents that I've been feeling here, collective. For some of you, as I've been saying, this person has been in your life. You guys have been speaking. You may have not been aware you've been speaking to this person. But what's going to happen now is volume. Those feelings, those emotions that you felt that you may have been able to suppress, put to the side, not address, not bring to the surface, they're about to make themselves seen. Nonetheless, ngikhumbula uMabusana uthe ucela ngimphindele the moon ritual. The moon ritual, Mabusana, you sit outside with 2 candles, look up to the moon, switch on your candles, ngavele ngaba lightheaded. It's quite an intense ritual that. Ground yourself, ungagqoki icathulo, ugqoka amabhayi wakho, ugqoka izinto oyigqokayo zabantu abadala, and speak to the moon. Absolutely, Absolutely, mntumdala. Athi mind blown again. And continue ngaleya talking phase again, 2 months. No, 3 months. There's no rush here. No rush. And in fact, if the collective would take their time to understand this person, who they are, what they're about, this is going to be a very explosive, beautiful relationship for the two of you. So, again, I love it. Let me just go through to all of those. First thing you're going to do to try and manage this period is a grief shrine. Second, you can write a letter to yourself. Third is meditation. Fourth is doing the candle ritual with the moon. The 5th here, you want to do the mirror work. The 6th one here, if you're missing your guides, if you're missing somebody who's passed on, you can do then a grief circle. All right. And you have an understanding and an acceptance here of what's happening here, collective, is that I'm almost hearing uyaphothulwa. Yabo mawuphuma kuyaphothulwa phela masuqedile. So manje kuyaphothulwa. So you're experiencing those feelings. For some of you who know ushukuthini ukuphothula, guys, ithingangeni kuyo, right? And then there are some technical rituals that you can do that go deeper than what I've said. All of those are just surface level. These are pacifiers to your journey and to your experience, and there should be enough. Let's say as a pacifier, aina nutrition. So what I've given you here are pacifiers that will allow you to cope in that period of need before you make decisions that may not work for your highest and greatest good. Thank you so much for that subscription, Moira. All right. Okay. Enough chit-chat. Enough chit-chat. Gogo lonto lebesizele sifuna ukubona indaba. Na-ke lento esiyizele-ke gogo, sifuna ukubona indaba. Truly Hope Collective. That was very insightful for you, and I will help one or two of you and add a puzzle piece for one or two of you as well. Why you felt the way you felt. Strong message here again against your vices here, collective. Mabakhuluma with this past version of yourself. The new version of you does, for some of you, does not drink, does not smoke, does not vape, is not promiscuous, is committal, is forthright, and in good standing. I hope that makes sense. I don't know why they wanted me to use those words. But a strong focus here on the old version of you needing to be let go here. Old beliefs, old thinking patterns, especially old beliefs and thinking patterns, because you're entering a time of your life where we could call it the most auspicious period in your life. Like Dr. Mode is saying, Dr. Mode is having the time of her life here. 2015, and doors are absolutely opening. Thokoza mntu mdala, thokoza Thulibu,